We're going to do a quick overview of the standard, and then we'll jump right into order of operations. So with this standard, we're going to do levels 1 and 2, which is listed over here. And what we're doing in this entire standard is we are going to be able to understand and apply ideas related to expressions so that I can solve problems with simplifying and evaluating. Okay, so those are the two parts. So over here you're going to see all the simplifying, and over here you're going to see all the adding, or evaluating, sorry. Okay, so these two right here, what we are working on is simplify. So right here it should say, I can simplify an expression with 2 orders of operations below. So that includes anything over here or anything over here. It could be either one. It could be division, addition, subtraction, multiplication. It could have exponents, and it could have parentheses as well, but it doesn't have to. To jump into the level 2, level 2 is also still a simplifying. I'm going to switch to pen so it's not so shiny online here. I can simplify. That's better. I can simplify an expression with 3 of the operations below. 2 of them can be the same. It could have 2 additions and a multiplication. It could have parentheses and exponents and multiplication. It could have 3 different things. But here's the stipulation on this one. One of those 3 operations has to be a parenthesis. Okay, so it does have 3 operations. One of it has to be grouped in some way, shape, or form. All right, so let's go ahead and practice. So the back side of this, we'll get to it later. We're just going to go right on to the next page here. And it says Standard 1, Simplifying Expressions. So we're going to talk through the order of operations. If that's something that's familiar to you already, this is just going to be a review from previous years. If you've already talked about or learned the order of operations, this should go pretty easy, pretty quick for you. We're going to first of all do, we're going to rate this at the top because most people are familiar with, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. But I'm going to add something to that because most people say you have to do parentheses, then exponents, then multiplication, which is not true. It goes parentheses, exponents, then it's either one of these. It could be multiplication or division, and the same thing here, addition or subtraction. Those are interchangeable. So the first one still is parentheses, what most people think. So I can simplify expressions inside parentheses. That goes first. An example of that would be 4 plus 7 minus 2. Okay, so typically with addition and subtraction, we just go from left to right, but because this has a parenthesis right here, I have to do the parenthesis first. So parentheses go first. Then after parentheses are exponents. So then we're going to simplify any exponents. Now let's just do a quick recall on exponents. If I was doing 4 to the 3rd power, that is not 12. 4 to the 3rd power is 4 times 4 times 4. Okay? And you can grab a calculator to do that, 4 times 4 times 4, or you can do it in your head, whatever, but it's not 12. 4 times 4 is 16, and then 16 times 4 is 64. So this is 64, not 12. Okay, so let me give you an example of an exponent problem. So if I had 4 to the 3rd power plus 6, I would do the exponent part first and then add 6. Okay. The next thing you would do, so let's come back up here, we would multiply and divide next. So we're going to multiply and divide But multiply doesn't always have to come first. It's whichever one comes first from left to right. So even though most people think that multiplication has to come first because, and please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, the m comes first, it doesn't have to be. If I had 10 divided by 2 and then did times 4, you would do the division part first before the multiplication because we're moving from left to right. Same thing for addition and subtraction. We're going to do those from left to right. So again, most people think if addition isn't the problem, you have to do addition first, like this one. Oh, I got to do that addition first versus the subtraction, and it just depends which one comes first from left to right. And on this one, because of the parenthesis, that parenthesis part had to be first. Okay, so on this one, if you had 14 minus 3 plus 7, we would just work our way from left to right. So the subtraction would come first, just like this division would come first. Okay, so we're just going to practice that. So this is level 1. So to get a level 1, which is a passing, it's a D minus. So that's 60% on your assessment when we take our first assessment. In order to pass the class, you have to be able to do these level 1 problems. Now, level 1 does not get you out of remediation. You have to get higher than a level 1 to not be required to remediate that particular standard. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. For this one, this multiplication and addition. So this is what I have. I have multiplication. Okay, so there's my options. In this particular problem, I see multiplication and I see addition. So which one comes first? So if you go down the order here, the multiplication piece is going to go first. So 12 times 2 is 24. Bring this straight down, plus 8. And now I'm going to do my addition. 24 plus 8 is 32. And that's my answer. Okay. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do it on every one just so that we get used to seeing that and we see which one comes first in the hierarchy of operations. Okay, so in this problem, I see subtraction and I see multiplication. So obviously the multiplication piece comes before the subtraction. So I'm going to do this multiplication piece first. So 2 times 8 is 16. Bring down the 12. 12 minus 16. You can grab out a calculator for this, but if you have $12 and you owe me 16, you're going to be in the hole. You don't have enough there. So 12 minus 16. Now I'm going to do that subtraction piece. That's negative 4. You're still going to owe me $4. Okay? All right, let's try it again. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just write this in. This is just a tool of the problem to identify what kind of operations you're seeing in the problem and then use that to figure out which one to do first. So I see subtraction and I see addition. Which one comes first? On this one, because these are on the same level, I'm going to work from left to right. I'm just going to do what I see first and then finish off the problem. So 12 minus 2, that part is going to come first, which is 10. Bring down this plus 8. So that's 18. Okay? All right, let's go down to the next row. Let's kick it up a notch. Okay, so this is very similar to the last one, where if I'm looking at my order, I see multiplication and division. And because these are on the same level, I'm just going to work my way left to right. So 2 times 20 is 40. We're going to just bring down the divide by 8. 40 divided by 8 is 5. Okay. This one gets a little bit more interesting. I see a set of parentheses. Now, after you start parentheses, you don't really start anything inside of the parentheses because you're just going to do that. That's a part of the parenthesis. But we do have to start anything that's outside of the parentheses. So because there's a number here in front of the parenthesis, that is a hidden multiplication. So that's actually a multiply. So that's going to be down here. My parentheses is going to be first, and then I'll multiply. So I'm going to write it like that when I actually do it. So 2 plus 8 is 10. And you can keep it in the parentheses if you want. But I'm going to go 3, and then I'm going to write that times, because anything in front of a parentheses is like a multiplication if it's not like a plus or minus. And then 3 times 10 is 30. Okay, and we'll just use this one over here. The exponent piece is going to come first, so 8 squared is not 16. That piece right there is 8 times 8. Which is 64. Bring down this 2 plus. 2 plus 64 is 66.